So we'll start off again with which one's which one? This one, right? Yeah. And we're going to use, you can put, like the two scanners we're going to use are, where are we? The M700 scanner, that guy, and the M4435 narrowband scanner. And you can put them both on the same probe if you want to, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just put them, I think I'm just going to put them on each two separate probes, but bring them up in the same vehicle. I think that's the simpler solution. So we'll build this M700 probe first. So this is the Mun Scanner 1. I'm gonna call this. Okay, and we'll get ourselves a little structural part. And as per usual, I don't really have any kind of plan. Now the one thing with the scanner, let's take a look at the scanner here. There's a couple of things about this scanner you got to be a little careful with. There is some orbital restrictions. You do need to put it in a polar orbit, and there's nothing in here telling you to put it in a polar orbit, so just know you do have to put it in a polar orbit. The minimum altitude is 250 kilometers unless the body radius divided by 10 is bigger. The moon is 200 kilometers in diameter. That divided by 10 is 20, so that's smaller, clearly. So 250 kilometers is the minimum altitude. Maximum altitude, what's that? I got to get the number of zeros right. It looks like 1,500 kilometers, unless the moon's radius times 5 is smaller. It's not. So anywhere between these two numbers is going to be fine. So polar orbit, anywhere between these two numbers. I don't know. I'll go for like a few. What is it? 250? 500. We'll go for 500. That'll be nice. I think this one has a similar sort of a dealie. Just make sure. I want them both to be about the same. Max altitude is 500, so we want to be lower. So we'll go like 200 or 300 or something like that. But the other thing about this is that it doesn't tell you about the EC required. It doesn't use really much electricity while it's running, but when you first do the scan, it uses about 200 units of electric charge, and it doesn't tell you that anywhere in this description that that's going to do that. And I've done that where I've taken it out, I run it, and I don't have enough electricity, and I get kind of very frustrated. So make sure you put on at least a couple of hundred. Let's just do it the easy way. We'll do this like that. That'll do it. That's all you got to do. And then a few solar panels. Give it some charging capability. Yeah, we'll do that. I don't know what it is, but sort of a hexagon of solar panels like that works pretty good. There we go. So that should do what that needs. An antenna. And we'll stick the antenna. Let's see. What's this look like when it's deployed? We'll deploy that. Oh, there's some different textures hiding here too. Oh, I could have. Oh, I liked what it was before. Okay. Let's stick that antenna somewhere. Maybe if I just hit it in here. Only need one. That's cool. Okay. Man, honestly, I'm pretty close to this being just about it. I don't see any reason to do much else, but I want... It's going to be pretty much dropped in its orbit. It really doesn't need propulsion, but I do want it to have a little bit propulsion so that if I wanted to tweak its orbit a little bit, I can. But what I'm just going to do is take the smallest monopropellant can, which is this one, the Stratus 5 minified monopropellant can. I'm going to stick it down here on the bottom. I'm going to do my best to kind of get that in the middle. Probably the best plan is to bring this up so it's like just a hemisphere like that. And now I can look at the bottom and just kind of use the textures a bit. Bring that way a bit. And then for a motor, how much does this thing weigh? 475 kilograms. I guess 475 kilograms. This is only a tenth. Wait a minute, let me get the right ones. Look at the monopropellant ones, dummy. That one. This one's a tenth of a kilonewton I think I'm better off with the place anywhere linear thruster port. So I'm going to put that on the bottom. It's really tricky to sort of get that right in the middle. So I'm going to try and do my best just using this to sort of see. As long as it's pointing straight down and reasonably close to the center of mass, I think I'm going to be okay. That might be alright. What if I do this? Maybe a little this way? We'll test this in a moment. Honestly, that's it. And I don't need as much monopropellant as that. I think I take out about half of it. And it doesn't tell you how much delta V you have. You can get the RCS build aid really helps with telling you how much this is, or you can work it out. But I'm not going to. I'm just gonna say I'm sure that's good enough. Does it work better if I take? Oh, I like it. I like it without the thing on it. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna go show actuation toggles. Don't care about yaw, pitch, and roll. Don't care about port starboard or dorsal ventral. Only care about forward. And I'm gonna toggle the forward to the throttle. So this thing will now just act as an engine. All right. So boom, 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 boom. I don't know if I'll do. I've never done Easter egg hunting with this scanner. Does it work well? I've honestly never done it. It's been a long time since I've done Easter egg hunting with this game. That looks okay. I think so. Maybe a little more this way. Uh-oh, that was the engine, not the tank. Tank goes a little more this way. There. Okay, so let's just give this a test. So I'm just going to launch it. We're going to put this into space. Okay, so we're just going to do a little Alt F12ing here, and we're going to cheat this thing into orbit for just testing purposes. So I just want to make sure I have attitude control. I'm not forgetting anything, so you can see that works. We can see this works. And what I also want to make sure is that if I put on RCS and throttle up, right, I got myself a little engine. That's all I wanted, and it's holding the vector just fine. And this is a nice, light way to make a probe. I'm perfectly fine with this. How am I doing for monoprop? It's gonna, yeah, for what I want to do, this is gonna be fine. I might actually fill that tank back up again. I think I will. Okay. Escape. Revert flight. Back to vehicle assembly. I'm gonna fill that back up again. I'm fine with that. Okay, so zoom, 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 zoom. Okay, so let's retract everything. Might just take that antenna and just slide it down just a little bit so it's not quite clipping with the solar panel. Retract that. Okay. And now I'm going to put this into a subassembly. That's what my little head's telling me to do. So I'm going to grab anything, like any one of these decouplers will be fine. To put this, oh, it's going to do it that way. Okay, I'm sure that'll be fine. And then I'm going to make that the root part. And then if I go to subassemblies, I should be able to grab this whole fella, just throw it in here. This is a Mun Scanner. And say save. Okay, now just go new. Don't save this. Open up my Mun Scanner again. Boom. Take that off. Go back to here, back to science. Science. And there we go. Now I got the narrowband one. That's all I'm going to do. And then underneath this, get this all ready. We're going to put the two of them in a fairing, and hopefully that will work really right. This is now going to be Mun Scanners, because we're going to have everybody on it. There. Decoupler. Boom, boom, boom. I want the small... Oh, this is organized by... You know, it's organized by name. That's right. TD12, TD06. That's what I'm interested in. unfortunately, it's doing... I think that'll be fine, but just to make me feel better, I'm going to just... Oh, it's going to want to do that. I'm just going to make it so that it's at least looks like it's kind of clearing that a little bit. And we're going to turn the ejection force on that way off. And I'm going to get a fairing. I think the 1.25 one should be fine. That's going on the bottom. We're going to turn on the interstage nodes. And we're going to go back to subassemblies, grab our first Mun Scanner, flip you around. Beautiful. Okay, I need actually a decoupler again. Some people like to use this. The one thing about using the decoupler for this, what I'm doing right now, is that when I put this on, here, I should actually turn off the interstage nodes. So I make sure that this is attached to the decoupler and nothing else. And then we'll slide it up so it, again, the engine's just not clipping into it. Is that this decoupler will stay attached to this platform, which means the platform will stay there, and some people don't like that. I'm perfectly comfortable with it. If you don't like that, you can use a separator, and then this platform will disappear when you stage. But then you have the little bit of debris floating around, which honestly bugs me more. And I'm going to turn that force percentage right off. All right, there we go. There's our two little fellas. Let's put a probe body on here. Finish this thing off. There, that goes there. This is going to be our root part now. I should hopefully be able to build a fairing around all this. I should have maybe checked that ahead of time. I think I'm going to be. Am I going to get around? Oh yeah, I'm around the top, aren't I? Get away, Kerbal Engineer. Yeah, lovely, lovely. Very happy with that. Let's go 4 sides, lots of force. Clamshell deploy on. All right, let's build ourselves a little probe. So, getting to the moon and getting in orbit's about 1140 meters per second. Add another 1,000 to that to deal with the upper part of the insertion. So I want this to be around. I'm moving things around. I don't know, 1,200 meters per second. So let's see if I can hopefully do that pretty easily, like with that. And maybe a terrier. Oh my gosh, it's already. Oh my gosh, it's already huge. It's already huge. Okay. Smaller tank. Maybe just a little spark engine. Little spark engines. Don't forget the lights. I'll do my best not to forget the lights. Yes, lights on the probe. You're right. I got to put the lights on the probe. That's still. Oh wait a minute. Is it in a funny spot? This should be all the way around here. Still, 20 cents. This thing's... Oh my gosh. How much? Sorry, let me go back a bit. It's still a huge... Does that seem right? Like, how much does this weigh? I don't know. Something... Let's try that again. Something doesn't feel like it's adding up to me. Just feels like I shouldn't be getting as much as I am, but maybe I'm... Spark engine. I want that spark about here. Yeah, so that this will go somewhere in the atmosphere, and then the spark comes on. See, this is saying 2006. This is saying 1,137. This seems more reasonable. Kerbal Engineer. Yeah, sometimes it gets messed up. Something's not okay. I'm actually trusting the stock game. Don't trust you, Kerbal Engineer. I'm not quite sure why. There's something in the staging that's confusing Kerbal Engineer, so... Because I was just looking at it going, there's no way that's right. 1558 thrust away. Yeah, that seems much more reasonable. Let's go a little bigger. You. 2,400. Yeah. Thrust to weight is 1.59. I'm not trusting this in the slightest. I think it's adding up everything. But I don't know what it's doing. It's something weird. Very strange. Okay. But this I trust. This I think is right. Might actually bring it down a smidge. Let's see. If I take that. Well, a little more delta V than that, so I might just go to the, like these baguettes or something. $21.11, yeah. Maybe 3 of these. Now let's go back to 2. We're gonna call it around here, right there. There we go. Make them silver. Tuck them in a little bit for aerodynamicness. And we're gonna remember to put on some batteries this time. So electricity. I'm just gonna get really lazy and put a Z100. That's way more battery than I'm ever gonna need. And that should an antenna. You know, what if I put it in here? And it can be under the fairing. And then when it extends out like that. Yeah. Okay. All right, so yeah, Kerbal engineer is definitely confused. Yeah, it definitely is. So I'm just going to ignore it. But I think the stock one's not that confused. So I'm going to stick with what stock's saying. I like it with the little gold tank on the bottom. Okay. Yeah, I don't think. Let's light this up a little bit. Because I agree. It needs some lights. We need some lights. So we're going to get... What does this thing look like? Why don't we just do something very simple? These are kind of... No. Yeah. What if I use this? 3-way symmetry. And if I just... What do they look like when you turn them on? They're a little big, aren't they? Might be a little big, maybe. What about these guys? Turn them the other way. Like that. Dab them into the orange a bit. A little bit of amber. Half-second blinkies. Like that. Just kind of tuck them into the solar panels there a little bit. Okay, and then we'll put the same lights onto here somewhere. Yeah. Works for me. Okay, I don't like the way this antenna is in the truss structure, so I'm just going to move that a little bit. Like that. Okay, let's get into action groups. On action group, actually to be fair, I'm just going to extend this one antenna. We'll extend the other antennas manually. So toggle that antenna on action group 5. We're going to deploy the fairing. The fairing can actually... Well, no, let's keep it in the staging for now just so I know where it is. Oh, do I want to crash the tug? Yes, I do want to crash that. No, I don't need to crash the tug into the moon. I will crash the tug into the moon, but that's just to get rid of it. I don't need it for a contract anymore. Still might do the same thing, though. It's science. Okay. Oh, disable the crossfeed will fix up Kerbal Engineer. Oh, yeah, let's see if that does it. Oh, it is I think it was disabled. I think it's very confused. I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about it. Boom, 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 boom. Actually, let's take these decouplers right out of the staging while I'm here, because I'll stage these manually. I won't stage them through the staging diagrams. So we'll disable the staging. Oh, that did. Oh, that fixed it. That got these two agreeing. Okay, now I'm happier. Okay. Okay. Maybe get a little more fuel on it. Still got a lot of thrust. A couple of little bally balls. All right. Yeah. Okay, that's good for the tug. I think I'm good with that. Let's bump decouplers. That's what I'm looking for. TD-12 decoupler. And can I get away with just sticking with the 1.25 meter size, or do I want to step it up to 1.35? Might want to step it up to 1.35. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Where are the 1.35 parts? I'll say one thing that KSP2 does better is the part organization is so much better in KSP2, I think. As far as finding the parts you need right away, and you know, having some procedurals helps too. Okay, that is too much already. I think I gotta go. No, I'm gonna stay smaller. 1.25. You are coming with me, and we're gonna put on a swivel or a reliant on the bottom. Let's start with the swivel. So I only need a total of 47. Yeah, I'm like close right now. This is 35. TWR is a little on the low side, so maybe the better plan is to size this down a little bit, a couple of SRBs on the side, and I think it's done. Scale that down a little. Yeah, maybe scale it down a lot more. Yeah, take that back. Might stick some reactions. Yeah, you're coming off. Going with the Reliant. Reliant has less mass and more thrust, but it doesn't have the gimbaling. But if I can just stick in some reaction wheels, that's probably going to be a better way to do it. Okay. Wow, that's a lot. That's got me happy. Okay, and like a couple of just the hammers, and I think this is done. Where are the... This is the one I'm looking for. That. Bump, bump, bump. Hammers. Check the staging a little bit. Boom, 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 boom. What is this? This. No. This will be on the stage down here. These two need to be on the same stage. That can be gone. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. 20. Yeah. Those cones on those. Push them down like that a little bit. Play with some textures. Sure. This isn't going to be anything special. A couple of tail fins on the bottom. So, launch clamps. Ah. There. There. Okay. I always like to fire the engines and then the launch clamps. That's just me, but I think this is looking pretty good. I'm just gonna tweak down these hammers because they're a little on the extreme side. That should do. I think I'm happy. Let's give her a go. So we'll save that and we will launch and we'll see what happens. Ah, solar panels. No, I don't need solar panels, but that's good. There are solar panels built into the probes, and this thing won't be alive enough to need solar panels. It's got 1,000 units of electricity aboard, so yeah, I think it's fine without solar panels. So once again, well, there's no Kerbals aboard this thing, so one last look at staging, make sure that's okay, but whatever happens, happens. We're off. We're off. For once, I actually have a fairing that looks somewhat normal, rather than really wacky and goofy. Okay, you're gonna knock you over a little bit. Very, very stable with those extra reaction wheels on there. There we go. Let that ride up. Yeah, I think I got into firing the answers. Whoa, 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 whoa. I think Kerbalism got me in the habit of firing the engines and then the launch clamps. And you play RP1, you have engines that take time to spool up, so you have to kind of hold the rocket down until the engines are up to full thrust. I know all of that stuff's not an issue with KSP, but, you know, habits. It's hard to break habits. Okay, whoa. Clouds just suddenly disappeared. I'm gonna start reducing the throttle here a little bit because we're getting close to 50 seconds to our apoapsis. All right. Yeah. I like little rockets sometimes. I know it's really fun in KSP to build really big rockets, but there's something satisfying in a nice little rocket that gets a lot done with not a lot of effort, a lot of money. Got all kinds of notifications here. I don't know what these are about. Oh, we got some milestones and stuff. What is this? You have performed a crew transfer near the moon. Yeah, I did do that. And then that's for the contract, and we got some science data. And that's, I think, for the contract too. Okay. Yeah, where are we? Where are we? We're doing good. We're all fine. A little more throttle. And yeah, if we get these guys, I'm just looking at the time. I guess the next step after that's really starting to think about a base. Or maybe a lander. Maybe that'd be the better plan. Get a lander, put it at that station, maybe get a rover, and really get some Kerbals to really scout out a good site for that base. I want to get the base done because I'm a little bit worried about money, but now suddenly I'm not so worried about money because I got 430 or 730,000 Kerbucks with the completion of that one contract. So money's not nearly as tight. Those people that have watched a number of these streams know it. But whoa, 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 pay attention. That was on me. Too much talking. I'm okay. Yeah, I got tight for money a little while ago when we were trying to rescue a Kerbal in a solar orbit inside Moho's orbit. That turned out to be way more expensive than it was worth. Hello, Ghost, and welcome. Glad you can make it. Okay, let's, I think we're okay. We're okay. We're okay. How my blinky light? They're not that exciting, my blinky lights. They're a little blinky. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. Okay, let's pay attention. We are at about 65 kilometers on the apoapsis. Periapsis is climbing quickly as well, so we'll just let this continue to ride. I hate blinky lights. I love blinky lights. All right, I'm just letting this ride right now. Is it Cormani? Thank you. Glad you enjoy the videos. Oh, thinking a rover's not a good idea. I'll take a look at that in just a second. Okay, we are just about, we're almost in orbit. Okay. A lander is much, well, I'm thinking of a rover just to kind of scout out that exact landing spot, and then the rover can stay with the base once we've decided where that base is going to go. I'll still have a lander too. So there'll be a lander and a rover. That's kind of what I'm thinking. None of this is happening today. I'm just thinking out loud. Maybe the beginning of it might happen today. But just thinking out loud what the next step should be. Come on, let's get into space. We're almost in space. Okay, so periapsis is over 40 kilometers, so this is just going to be a teeny little puff to kind of finish off the insertion here. That'll do her. All right, still got 1491. That's plenty, 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 plenty. So here, let's get rid of everything here. Set the moon as a target. Heading out. We've done this a few times now. Moon's going to become a source of interest for the next little while. I should pay attention too. Like, where's the alarm clock? No, not you alarm clock, the real alarm clock. 52 days until that asteroid is near Kerbal, so I really should be thinking about that too. Maybe designing a mission to catch that. And that asteroid will eventually be at that station. Oh, that's going the wrong way. That way, that way. Okay. A little bit more. So again, the idea whenever you're going in a polar orbit is to kind of aim right for the middle of the moon, and then you're going to fix that with a correction. But this burn's coming up in just 19 minutes, so get that done. What kind of graphics mods do I have? The whole list of mods is in the description of this video. So there are a number of mods all installed, but they're all down there. The main ones are like Scatterer and Environmental Visual Enhancements. I guess those are the main two. And I don't have Parallax. That's one of the big ones that is installed. I found I had issues streaming at a reasonable frame rate sometimes when Parallax was installed, so I took Parallax out of the mix. Three and 2 and 1 and go. You're off. I should go back and watch this from the moon. All right, and overdid that a little bit. Let's spin this around. Turn down that throttle limiter. No RCS to back off with. There we go. All right. And I can see that we are coming a little north of the moon's equator here. So with my correction burn, I will continue on with that. And what to go? I'm going to go for now a 500 kilometer orbit. And then I'm going to, because I got a lot of delta V, kind of work my way down. I'll change before I drop the other satellite. So I'm going to put this one up pretty high. There's nothing too critical about this. It's not really that important. Does that look like it's pretty perpendicular-ish? Not bad. This way maybe a little more. Again, just trying to eyeballing it that it's at 90 degrees, but it really is just eyeballing. Oh, I'm pushing the wrong... Silly Billy. I was on the wrong thing there. This is the one I want to play with. Sure, we'll go with that. Excited's not quite the word. When it comes to things like being asked, or am I excited for the science update on KSP2? I'm cautiously optimistic. I'll just keep saying that. I don't get myself hyped up about these things because if you overhype yourself, all you're doing is setting yourself up for disappointment. It's going to be what it's going to be. That might be a little fatalistic on my part, but whatever. And you know, that's the way I look at it. All right, let's just start the burn. I don't have to wait for this to get to 0. Just do it. Boom. But when the science update comes out, I do plan on doing a live stream. And during that live stream, you'll definitely get my opinions on how things are progressing. But I am looking forward to it because I'm not a fan of sandbox mode. So anything that sort of begins to make it more of a campaign style is good with me. Okay, I'm going to go for 500. Okay, that's that, that's that, that's that. And that can go on to there. Okay. And we shall warp. Warp, 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 warp to here. Okay. So say goodbye to Kerbal. Say hello to the moon. Where are you, moon? There's the moon. Time warp a little closer so I'm into the right SOI. There we go. All right, and I am going to take a look how my inclination turn out. 89.7. I'm not too disappointed with that by just eyeballing it. Now I'm kind of curious, which way do I got to go to make that better? Let's keep that still really small. If I burn this way, is that going to get better or worse? Oh, it's getting better. 89.9. 90 degrees. Happy days. Okay. Happy days indeed. Straighten this up for the solar panels. And now it's just a matter of getting the capture. Oops, a little bit too far there. In fact, I can see I need to move it just a bit to get the two periapsi on top of each other, so that makes me know I'm in the right spot. There we are, and then am I going the wrong? I am. Yeah, that way. Oh my gosh, rolling the mouse the wrong way. There we go. Okay, I gotta turn this back up because that is a 7-second burn. Oh, we can turn it down a little bit. There. Okay, F5 and go. So we got a 200 meter per second capture. Does get a little more. The capture will vary depending upon altitude. I have a whole video series where I talked about that, and in a math series. And whether you should come in close and use the Oberth effect and all that kind of stuff. With the moon, it really doesn't matter too much. Other places, it can matter more. Here, I'm just going straight into the orbit because it's just a simpler thing to do. And here, time warp a little bit and do the burn. So it's a 14-second burn. Someone make a space helicopter. Well, helicopters do need an atmosphere. I'm assuming you're meaning for something like Duna or something like that. Like they have the helicopter on Mars. That would be a thing. Go! Not sure if that's out there or not. Alright, so... I think that's good enough. So what I'm going to do is we're going to extend this antenna. Where is it here? Somewhere. There it is. We're going to release our first satellite, and we'll take a look at how the scanner works. So extend that antenna, and hopefully this decoupling will all go okay. There we go. Come back to you. And remember I turned the force right off on that. There we go. It's looking okay. Now notice my periapsis is a little on the low side, so I'm going to just lock this onto prograde here a little bit. Give myself a couple of little puffs. So I'm just going to put on RCS. We're just going to do a little... Oh, did that not work? Do I have to use the throttle? I am not working. Why am I not working? Interesting. I have control. But for some reason, I'm not getting any action on the RCS thruster block. Monopropellant there. I've been having some wacky things with probes. And I tested this one in orbit, for goodness sakes. And it worked fine. But suddenly now, okay, fine, be that way. I was just going to get this to be really closer to 500 by 500, but if it wants to be that way, I guess it's going to be that way. Okay, fine, be that way. So we're going to turn on the scanner, and we're going to... So this is how you get yourself an idea of where resources are. So you deploy the scanner. that back. And then there is, in here, I want you to watch the electricity. That's what you got to be careful about. And do a which one? Perform orbital survey. And there it goes. It's doing it. It does some transmitting, and it's in that transmitting that it uses up all that electricity, and it's hard to see that coming. But then you're done. Then you never have to worry about it again. So there we go. Little bit of science. Created 1,903 funds doing that too. Nicey nice. And now, if you go into map view, there we go. There is our view of the moon. And you can, if I'm not mistaken, is it on this one? Yes. Here and click on or. Yes, you can change. There's different styles. You should be able to, or yeah, I can change it here. I like this mini heat map. Different styles like that. But there's a cutoff that's really useful. If you turn the cutoff up, because the higher you turn the cutoff, like now I'm into only the top 70% of resource areas are really showing up, because that's really what you're interested in, right? Now it's the top 80%. Now it's the top 90%. And now you can see, hey, I want to be in here somewhere. So you get a pretty good idea of where it is that you want to be doing your resources. Now somebody was, I don't think this is the one. No, this one can't do anything else. So what we're going to do, that's all that is. Now we're going to go to this guy, and we're going to, I don't know, why is there a maneuver node still here? Why is there a maneuver node? What is that maneuver node? I don't know. That was strange. Okay. Don't know what that was. I'm going to bring this down. Let's put this on retrograde. Oh, let's put this a little bit. If I push retrograde, I'm going to run right into him. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to push a little radially down, radially in. This is just to avoid this thing. Give it a little bit of a puff. There we go. Now we'll go retrograde. And I'm going to bring this orbit down to, I can't remember. There was a max. I'm going to bring it down to 200. I got lots of delta V. So I'm going to bring my periapsis down to 200. And then we'll release the other satellite. And then the two won't be close to each other. Not really a reason for that. Just what I wanted to do. Again, you could have put them both onto the same probe if you wanted to. Okay, and there we go. Point this upright again. Yeah, something happened when I switched focus there for sure. So again, this is just for solar panel purposes, and then we will let's see. And notice that, by the way, I still, even though I'm not on the original scanner anymore, I'm on the other ship, I still have access to what's going on, what that scanner's showing. I can still, like, if I go to here and click on here, I can still change the cutoffs and the, change the styles. I still have all of that. This information is now available from any vessel in the moon's SOI, which is honestly great. Don't have to be with that satellite ever again. Okay, we're going to circularize down here. There we go. And I think I got to turn this. Oh, I don't have to turn this engine up again. Nope. But I think I need to turn it down, actually. There we go. F5 again. Get on down there. On the maneuver node, and we'll get this one ready. And to be honest, there's no reason I could have left this just attached to this. There's no reason actually to detach it, but I'm going to anyway. And then we'll deorbit this thing, see if I can get some more Some more science. Some more science, as it were. Okay, and here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Yeah. Oh, I overdid it again a little bit. Oh, yeah. Somehow this stays on here. I'm just noticing that. There's some... I've lost the... that might have been what happened. Somehow I lost that. That's weird. Like, I can't get rid of this maneuver. See that? Can I get rid of it from here? Well, that's so weird. A little bit buggy today. Okay, we're just going to orient this again for solar panel purposes. And then we'll let go of that satellite. That seems good. Okay, again, oh, let's open up, where's the antenna? No, I hit it in here somewhere. There we are. Extend that antenna and decouple. There we go. Remember, I turned that right down, and this is really handy because now what I can do is I should be able to just move this sort of out of the way a little bit like that. Yeah. If you don't turn down that decoupler force, it'll slam this probe right into this other platform, which can be a little frustrating. Let's see if this probe, if I go to the other probe here, am I going to get the same issue? Like, I could burn myself a little prograde. It'd feel kind of good. Put on RCS. Same thing. Go back to the other one. Get rid of the maneuver node. There's that maneuver node's somehow connected in all this. Now can I thrust? No. Weird. Weird. Okay, whatever. Wants to be that way. Who am I to argue? Okay, we're gonna stand this up. Like so. Okay, and so for this Duber, how does this guy work again? You get the narrow brand on. You're going to deploy the scanner, which just turns it on. And then you want to put on your Kerb net access, right? Yes, there we are. And what this is doing is scanning directly below kind of where it's at right now. So it's scanning in this zone right here, and you can see it is giving us right where we are here. We have an ore concentration of 5.75%. The average, I think, over all the moon, I can't remember, but something like that is 5.68%. So we're not over a very, or 5.66%, not over a very good area right now. You can bring down that field of view. You can refresh this. Oh, that went the wrong way. So you can zoom in on this. So the idea of this is actually to try and zoom in on a particular region. So let's see if we can do some time warping while we're doing this and get over this little red area, because that's definitely where the stronger ore is. Okay, and we'll get it so that we're over top of that region. So, and then we'll hit refresh again. And so now you can see we have a 9.69% ore concentration, which is quite a bit higher than the average of 5.66%. And you can keep kind of zooming around in here. And if you find an area that you particularly like, you can, if I wanted to, drop a waypoint, and it will mark that spot where you just are right over top of, so that if later on you want to put a base there, or if you want to put a, drop a rover down, that's the kind of thing I'm thinking about. Dropping a rover down and exploring in there and try and find that perfect place to do some ore harvesting. What happened? Oh, that's just that's that. Okay, yeah. Just looking at what the different buttons are doing. And cycle automatic refresh. Oh, okay. That's fine. So now it'll refresh every 7 seconds automatically. I like just manually refreshing, to be honest. Yeah, that's about it. Now, people were mentioning, I've honestly never done this before. People were mentioning anomaly hunting. I'm not 100% sure how to anomaly hunt with this thing, if you can. If somebody, maybe I'll miss it in the chat, but if you're watching this at a later date and you know how to use these things to anomaly hunt, by all means let me know. But I'm going to use this just to hunt down the resources. Now let's see. Yeah, I'm still with this guy. How close am I to... Back to here. I'm going to do a little seismic bombing again. I'm going to bomb with this guy. Here we go. So we're going to detach this. We're going to drop it down. I still have 552 meters per second of delta V. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get right above here. Oh no, did I just lose electricity again? I did. I said this thing had tons of electricity, and what did I do? I did the same mistake, and somebody even warned me. Ah, what a melonhead. To put solar panels on here, and did I say I'm going to put solar panels on it? No, I didn't say I'm going to get solar panels on it, because my first thought at the time was I was going to deorbit it right away and not use it as a seismic bomb. But then I said, no, let's time warp. And of course, the time warping killed the batteries. And now it's dead, and I'm a doofus.